Buys everyone dinner.
Okay, well, welcome to our class. I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna start off with some disclaimers of this is our personal research based on probably what, like 20 different people in a few different generations. And we're not saying that one generation is right and another is wrong. That's not what we're saying at all. We're just saying that it has come to light basically because of me, how I communicate with the different generations and how they perceive what I say. So this was actually all about me. This whole class was all about me.
Anything if you need to. I love that.
And so, what I learned is when I started to ask other people that were my age and older, no one actually knew any of this. And so I was like, oh my gosh, we have to teach this class. Like, we got to put this together, because I was just so shocked. I just had no idea. I thought I had these great, I thought I had great intentions about how I communicated and worked.
You do
with,
have great intentions.
right? But and how I communicated with younger generations, and I had no idea how they were taking what I was saying. So that's how this all started. And it actually started from what we were talking about. K is not okay. And that my son actually taught me like 2 months ago.
You can't just respond.
What is K?
Short for okay, but
Yeah.
K is short.
So if you answer a text, well, we'll get there, but if you answer a text, this is how this all started. I sent my son a message. He's 22 years old. I sent him a message. We were going back and forth or whatever. He answered me and I responded, K. He called me on the phone and he was like, are you mad at me? Are you upset? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? No. He's like, well, you responded K. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, that's rude, Mom. Like, it's rude to respond with just a K. I was like, I had no idea. I said, well, I am not upset in any way, and thank you for telling me. And so then I started to have this conversation at work. And then the floodgates opened. And so
But we have such a healthy work relationship that we could have open conversation about this with nobody being offended.
Right, exactly. So first we just want to go into like a little bit about these generations. And these are all, I mean, we'll talk, they're stereotypes, right? So this is generalizing a generation, right? So not every single person is all of these things. But in general, the Gen X generation is the toughest generation. We're latchkey kids, right? We are independent, we're self-sufficient, we're usually working really fast, which is how we get ourselves into trouble, as you see, as we get through these things. So, we also, our parents, and again, these are all generalizations. Our parents really taught us to like suck it up and move on, right? Like quit your crying, wipe your eyes, and move on, right? So that's how we grew up, and we just thought that was normal. Again, none of this is right or wrong. I'm not saying any of that. It's just how we grew up. And so this is where they say that we're the most stressed generation, but we're also the best at dealing with it. Like we learned how to just cope with it and move on with stress. So this is the Gen Xers. So these are the people who put their foot in their mouth all the time and not even know it, is what we're gonna get at. Okay, so then we have our millennials. So they are more sensitive, right? And the reason why they're sensitive, when you start to actually think about this, when we were doing some research, and like the increased dialogue in mental health and emotions and understanding your feelings, they really got in touch with that, where the generation previous was like the opposite of that, right? So that's where some of this stuff starts to come out. So young adults may use sensitivity as a coping mechanism to basically all this overload of information and hyper awareness, right? They're just hyper aware of all of these emotions, and they were allowed, right, to feel them
Yeah.
and express them, where the Gen Xers were not allowed to express them if they were feeling them. Yeah. Okay. Then we have Gen Z, which, like, my son is in this generation, and he's in his early 20s. So potentially him and his friends are starting to buy houses, right? So this could be your first time home buyers. And that was another reason we started to bring this up, not just working with coworkers, but you're meeting someone at an open house or someone that you really don't know, and you're starting to communicate and you respond back, like, an example, can we go see 123 Main Street tomorrow? And you respond with, hey. Like, that could be a problem.
Your
right?
20-year-old is not gonna be impressed by that answer.
Not at all. I mean, not that that would, and it could be even like through some more dialogue, but if you're just like, oh, we'll meet you there at 10 o'clock, okay. Like, that could be offensive to them, and you wouldn't even know it, and you're just saying that because that's, like, I will tell you, I thought shorting things versus gonna make me cooler, right? Because that's what I learned.
Because everything is abbreviated.
Yes.
BTW. I mean, I thought so too. I can't say, by the way.
No, it's fine.
See, we'll probably learn this later,
Yeah.
Linda.
Okay, but what I've learned is
Chris is laughing at me too right now, I can tell.
there is a lot of interaction that can happen within a generation that is allowed, that isn't allowed up a generation or down a generation.
Even if I'm trying to be cool,
You can't be cool.
This is your first problem.
I just don't get to be cool.
Gen Z has decided
I am
you're not cool.
Yeah.
Kids are just nice to me.
We aren't cool. Yes, so we're gonna get to
Okay.
that. Okay. So anyway, this generation is really in tune to human emotions, and they really consider everyone's feelings. So they're super sensitive. Again, not bad, not good. It's just, this is the perception of this generation, like this generalization. Okay. So the goal here, right, is to avoid miscommunications when texting, both personally and professionally, right? Because you could take this into your personal world as well. Using emojis can help clarify tone. We're gonna get into this. You gotta be a little bit careful with that though too, because overuse them or use them when you're and be looked at as passive aggressive. The right punctuation, particularly one word or short messages. They actually care. So these younger generations almost want to go back to how it used to be with, like, salutations, your message, and then thanking at the end. Where the Gen Xers are like, let's just get this done, let's move quick, and we shortened everything out, and we're emailing like we text, right? And so that is considered like you're not giving them the time of day. Okay, so
This is which generation you're talking about right now?
yeah, so like Gen Xers, they move fast and they think it's cool, or we thought it was acceptable to email like we text. So when we're responding back with these short messages without salutations, without greetings, without these things in it, it seems like we're not giving the person that we're communicating with the time of day. If it's a Gen Xer and a Gen Xer, it's just short to the point, getting it done. No one thinks twice about it. When it's Gen Xer, I'm leaving the baby boomers out of this because I think they actually, well, I actually think the baby boomers like keep the structure of an email. I think we actually have less problem there. Where a Gen Xer and someone that like Gen Z or a millennial, right? We're using email as text, right? So we're saying these short 3-word sentences in an email with no hi, no thank you, no please, and it's coming across as the other person receiving it not being valued, not being given the time of day, like that, those pieces. And I think that the over 40s have no idea that that's how. At least I did. Oh, yeah. So anyway, they care a lot about proofreading and capitalization and punctuation. Like, they care a lot.
Gen X.
No. Millennials and Gen Z. Yes. They care a
So
lot.
when you think Gen X, think like Heather and.
Over 40.
I got a chart out right here.
Gen X is Heather and you.
Yeah.
And me.
And Kelly.
Millennials is me, and these two are the Y.
I'm a millennial, 93 baby.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
Just go back to the years quick.
Yeah, well, you just go back to the years, but yeah,
Just go back to the years quick. So that's me,
Gen X, okay?
me, Kelly,
Yeah.
Andy.
I'm a millennial.
Oh, the baby boomers are
Yeah,
bubble.
Lydia's a millennial. This is probably why she wanted me to be here.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Millennials.
So
I'm just
millennials.
Only kidding.
Ex-millennial Z.
And then Gen Z are like the just recently
Julia, what are you?
graduated.
A millennial.
You're a millennial. And Chris, you're,
Right now, millennial too.
and my kids are Gen Zers.
Got it.
X is 65. That's
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, right on the board.
Just getting mad.
I am doing so bad. I'm just like embarrassed and we haven't even began.
Okay, so then here's the other thing I said, when I first started this, like, I almost threw a tantrum and I was like, I'm gonna stop communicating. Because I was like, I can't win, like, but you just have to get over that.
Yeah.
You do.
And like our communication, Kelly and I mean, we don't even say hi or each other's name.
No.
We are just,
And I, like, I know she's
And
like,
then 96.
yeah,
And then 97.
exactly. Okay.
So the Gen X doesn't care about structure, they're straight to the point?
yeah.
Straight to the point, baby.
Straight to the point.
Gen X. You'll probably see like,
It's just a generalization too.
Yeah.
It's not everyone.
Yeah.
and it's more just like for awareness, because we just have really.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna go into some examples. Okay, so this one, I would think everyone knows this, all caps, right? We've all learned this, no caps. It could be considered yelling or being rude, right? Or like if you're using a no with an exclamation point. We have another example with no's, but like, these are pretty self-explanatory, I would think. Like, don't use them. And if you feel like you need to use this, it needs to be a phone call. I'm gonna say this a lot through this. Like, when we are talking about written communication, if you think in any way you are not gonna be perceived in the way that the emotion behind what you're saying, you should pick up the phone and call. Or send the message, hey, can we have a phone call? Like if the person doesn't answer the phone, because that's a thing, right? People don't answer their phone, right? So sending a message, hey, can we talk about this?
I just throw in there, Bill Jones would say, when would be a good time to talk about it?
Right. So then K with a period, again, punctuation matters a lot, by the way. And K, they think you're mad, you're tipped, it's not good, don't use it.
You got a
gotta
good
spell
old
out,
okey-dokey in there.
okay, or,
That's fine. Okie dokie with the party emojis?
yeah.
You're good.
I tell my parents not to
You
baby.
could write out okay.
Okay, so this is preferred way. Okay or okay.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, those the same. Okay, or okay.
Yes,
Or okay.
yes, they are perceived the same
What were
way.
you gonna say?
I would, yes to all of this, but also if you sent okay spelled out or okay and then a period, I would also think something's wrong.
The period is.
Okay, like the O and the.
Period is the bad part, but they want
Yeah.
punctuation.
Really?
Well, in a sentence format.
When you're writing, something, not just, okay, period. That's it.
Like if I sent you like, hey, I'm gonna be late to work this morning, and you
I
sent
always
back.
respond with K.
No. That's like, okay, right now for the period, I'd be like, oh, she's mad.
Oh my God, I never am, I swear.
That's it.
Wait, but you know what though, I usually respond with NP.
NPS.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh,
Bravo.
okay.
And when you have a
Is
more
that
of a
okay or
personal
no?
relationship with someone, this
Right.
is why we don't actually think Kelly's
Yes.
mad at us. We will just literally be like, you sound mad at us.
Yeah.
Got it.
You know,
Okay.
but we know.
Yeah.
So when you have a personal
Oh,
relationship,
Can I
it's
stick with my
it's
answer?
different for sure. Cause you know, your kids know when you're mad at them.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not because you said K. It's because you
Got
use
it.
their middle name.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Okay, okay, sorry, okay, got it. Okay.
So, yeah, so punctuation matters a lot. Okay,
Oh.
okay, bye. Dismissive. How about, okay, have a good day? Yep, okay, bye, can't use that. Not good.
Oh, this is the Kelly one.
Yes. Okay, so this is how I do a smiley face all the time.
In email.
Anytime.
Oh, okay.
All the time.
All the time. I do it in email, I do it in text message, all the time.
It's just, I should have looked at like my offer letter from 3 years ago to find like and counted how many of those you use just like in an offer letter.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, so I just learned this, dorky, totally dorky, you never use the nose. They've been making fun of me forever. I finally,
Maybe you wanna be that way, it's fine.
well, so I thought it was cool. I'm like, well, I want to be different. So anyway, so no nose or use the real emoji. So what has saved myself in the last, probably year is now when you do this, it will auto-populate this a lot. But if you don't want to be dorky, like if you like sending it to someone you don't know, like don't use the nose. Okay. So this is a tough one. This is actually from another TC that's not here today. So adding a smiley face when you're annoyed or you're trying to change the tone. It comes across as passive aggressive.
I think it's supposed to be, right?
Well,
I'm glad we left it in,
yeah.
cause we just got,
Okay.
it is, it's
So-
supposed to be.
I use smiley face a lot, by the way, a lot.
I never use.
And I use it when I want someone to know, like, I really am just, it's usually like speaking to understand, and I'm like asking maybe a tough question, and I add a smiley face because I want you to know, like, I'm not mad. I truly am just trying to let you know the information with a smiley face, like,
Or
my-
learn more.
like,
A lot of times you're just like, I wanna learn more,
yeah,
tell me more.
smiley face, yeah. Exactly. So just be careful. There's no like hard rule on this. Just know that if the person doesn't know you, they could think that you are doing it on purpose. Like you are literally adding it to be passive aggressive to kind of be a beat.
Which you might be,
But
but I
you might
also
be.
really like the way you're using it, to be like, this is a tough question and I'm coming from a place of like kindness.
It's risky though, because if the person on the other end thinks you're just being a- doesn't know you, and then they think that you're being kind of snap. So, that's just a talking point, like
Yeah.
just to kind of think about, am I adding, like, why am I adding the smiley face? And then it could be more like, should this be a phone call?
Could it depend on the kind of smiley face? Could it be like the white teeth one, like?
The other example that we had for this one was, cause we email a lot, obviously. So you send something over with an attachment and then the person says, can you send that over? And then you send it back and you're like, here you go, smiley face,
Again,
again. You know, cause it feels like, you know, and it, I don't know, like, not saying one way or the other, but just an example of like, I already sent it, how come you didn't open your eyes? Smiley face.
Got it. I see what you're saying.
So just example, yeah.
The sender is probably like, oh, whoops, you know, yeah.
which, agents get really annoyed when you do that, just so you know, like, if you send something and it's attached and then they don't see it, and then you basically tell them it's there again, like, look below or whatever, like, it's attached, it was attached to the first one, they get it quite.
Just resend.
Just
Like, they
resend it.
obviously didn't see it.
Yeah,
Just resend.
just
I
resend
can
it.
vary on my mood.
Yeah.
If I want to resend it or if I want to say, look below.
Yeah, it depends who's asking for me to send it.
We can't reveal too much.
Like, I will,
Shame you guys.
like, I'm gonna pull out Diana Kokoska on this one. Like, do you wanna be right, or do you wanna make money?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true.
Okay. Okay, so this one is like, this is Whitney's. Okay, a short reply with a period. So this is where I was talking about like having a greeting and the message, the salutation, like actually making a structured email in a professional setting and not using email as a text. So this was actually an example. It came back from a lender about an appraisal. And so an email was sent over asking if the appraisal was completed yet. And this was the only thing in the email. It's due tomorrow. Period. So I saw nothing wrong with this email. Lydia is giggling. I was like, perfect, it's due tomorrow. I got the information I wanted. I didn't have to read through all the other stuff. The other stuff matters to other people. So it came across as short. Again, like this is the thing, like mad or annoyed with the answer, like they didn't have time to say anything else with it. And you could say like, what
Heaven
you want.
forbid I checked in on the appraisal type of a situation, yeah.
So what I've found with the other generations is they really read into what you're sending. They,
The
and
sensitivity.
yes, where the Gen Xers, it's just at face value. It literally is what it is. There's not, like, we don't see any emotion behind that. It's just answering the question, right? These other generations are reading into everything they say because they're so in touch with their emotions and their feelings. And so they think you are too. Like, that's the thing. Like, they think that we have all these emotions, which we don't. But they think that, like,
Basically dead inside.
right, we're basically dead inside. So the thing is, take the
You would have
time.
said, hi, Kelly, thanks for checking in. It is due tomorrow. Have a great day, Heather.
That would be amazing.
Oh my God.
And
A lot of work.
that extreme, but you also have to take into consideration, like, I expect a lender to be professional. You're a lender.
True.
And maybe it's just my generation, maybe it's not all of our generation, but
Got it.
there's a level of professionalism that's removed when I'm just trying to do my job as well. So
That's
even
so-
just like a, hey,
So
do
interesting.
tomorrow, smiley face, or hey, do tomorrow, thanks. I don't
Got
know.
it.
Which is
Anything-
which is back to more of what like the baby boomers were. Like they would be annoyed with our,
Oh, for sure.
it is due today or
For sure.
due tomorrow.
For
And
sure
this
they
is
would
an
be.
Email
Or
this
it's a
is
text.
an email.
Not a text.
So that's the other thing. We're getting we're using email the same as we use text messaging. And these other generations are seeing that as a more formal way of communication. And so they want it that way. If not, they think you're being distant. Okay. Dot. Okay, this has a lot to do with people misusing dot.
You should have served mimosas at this class.
That would have been great.
I think something stronger.
Okay, so, this mainly is they're not quite sure what else you're saying after the dot.
Because
And,
that means something.
yeah, like,
You say dot all
Yeah.
the time?
I do too all the
It's
time.
like, it's, I haven't finished my thought, or it's, you know. I mean, if you're using it in in between sentences.
Oh, that's the difference?
yes. So, just say what you're thinking about or wait to send it.
So you're using it correctly. I mean, from what you just said, like, it's being used correctly, means that there is something more you want to say, or there is more thought, or something like that. But why, like, we don't know, the person on the other end doesn't know what that thought is, so why did you send it? And then,
Or just say that, this is the information, I have more to come, or like, I have more
to come, for
thoughts.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, I have more thoughts on this, but I don't have them right now, period, no more dot. Mhm. Yeah, don't use the dot. it instantly is like, oh my gosh, they are so mad. They immediately go to negative.
And is this
Yeah.
just an email or this is any?
Any.
Yeah, I
Anything.
would take that with any.
Yeah.
Or just like leaves the other person hanging, or at least like that's how generally speaking, these generations would feel is you're leaving me hanging. Like, what else is there? Do you have more information that I need before I can move on? Are you mad? Is there, I don't know.
Yeah. The default for the younger generations is always they're mad or annoyed. Like, if they don't understand, that's what they think. This is what I've learned. Okay. So the next class we're gonna do is for the younger generations, and it's gonna be, we aren't mad ever, like, unless we call and tell you we're mad. So that's actually what I teach. Like, we had a whole team meeting on it. Was like the younger generations then have to understand that the older generation, the Gen Xers, really aren't putting a lot of emotion in this at most times. And we do have the right intentions, and we are just providing the information. And we're just moving fast, and it isn't made to hurt anyone's feelings or to put anyone in that kind of like uncomfortable feeling. And that you should assume, if you're going to assume, you should assume that someone is being positive and coming with love and care, and not assume that it's negative. So I try to do some reverse teaching as well. So not everyone is just automatically thinking everything is mad or annoyed or. Recording in progress. Okay, so when we talk a little bit about like. Selena's leaving, we got it. Good. Punctuation, spelling, grammar, all of those things. Like spelling someone's name wrong, this doesn't matter like who the generation is, like people get annoyed. So this is just general information. Spell people's names right. And I have to say, even if I don't know how to pronounce somebody's name, like maybe I have the spelling, I don't have to pronounce it. I will ask somebody how to pronounce their name before I do it. I'll be like, can you pronounce your name for me? Because I don't want to mispronounce. Or can you spell that for me, right? That's totally normal. So just ask. And then here's the thing is, there are settings on your phone. If you're texting someone a lot, like you can set spelling, like someone has a unique spelling to their name. You can just add that right into the spell check in your phone, and then you won't have to correct it much. So, little tip there.
I just thought of a funny interaction I have with my mom all the time. To go, can you please do X, Y, Z, and I'll say okay, like I'll type out okay or just the O and K, and then she'll respond with okay, and I'm just like, why
Why
can't
are
I
you
just
saying
say
okay
okay?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
okay. That's funny.
Okay, all the no's. All of the no's. No with exclamation point, little no, big no, the caps no with a period. We got that no in there twice.
No.
Important.
Yeah, okay. So all of these are yelling, being rude, sounds like you're being annoyed. You can say no, but add an explanation like why you're saying no. That's what they're looking for, not just a short no. Christy actually described this to me today, and she said, so Christy's very direct with her messages, and she said, I can get that. She's like, I don't like when people just answer me no either. She's like, it makes me feel like I'm a puppy and there's no,
Yeah.
like, no, right? Like, or a little kid and like you're getting your hand slapped, no. Like, so just looking for some more emotion or some more explanation around that is really what if you add that, it's again giving some love and care, and then the person knows why you're saying no. Because I would say that we didn't write any of this in here, but just what I've learned about generations is knowing the why is really important. Okay, yes, you have a question?
No.
Heather, you're gonna make it.
Okay, so I did this,
Do you know how many people must hate me?
well.
We don't hate you. Nobody hates you.
Okay, so Heather, I did this whole thing, like how long did it take me to like get through the initial, like I did this whole thing, actually.
I'm gonna like literally throw up right now.
Remember that a lot of this is like talking to someone who doesn't know you personally.
Doesn't know you.
Yeah.
So like, your son is not gonna be like, if you said, okay, Jacob's not gonna be like,
You
oh,
know
wow.
by now, if no one liked you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking of you, Lydia. I mean, would you
But
must
I know
think
you.
I'm just the rudest person in the
No.
world. Oh
Oh,
my God, I seriously, I feel nauseous. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Just go on.
It's serious. Oh, I did this, we did a lot of this research and Danielle was actually at my house when we did this. And so she watched all the emotion on my face. Like I was like quit. I like closed my computer. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not talking to anyone anymore. Like I did this whole thing, but you get through it. It's- You get it.
Okay, let's go on. You know what? It's just, you gotta change going forward, right? Okay, go on. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, and it's just about knowing, right? Like that's the thing, just awareness. And like I said, you gotta reverse train too. There's gotta be some awareness going the other way. Cause there isn't right or wrong.
Yeah. it's
These
not gonna be
generations
right.
aren't right, and Gen Xers aren't right. There's no right or wrong.
You know,
It's
remember,
just how it's perceived.
remember when we first talked about this, the first day you told me about this in this class and something, and I said, oh my gosh, that's how I talked to Joey. So I went home, Joey's my youngest, who's turning 21 next month. I went home and we were having dinner and I was telling him about this and he's like, oh, mom, you do it all the time. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, so does my boss. And he's like, my boss is really short with me. Like, I'm not feeling well. And he'll just be like, hey. And he's like, but I know him. And so I know he's not mad at me.
Yeah.
But Joey was like, yes, I would totally think someone was mad at me. But since I know my boss, I'm not offended by it.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, so, and that's what Joey was saying about me too. He's like, I know that's not what you're saying, but it was interesting to hear him say, my boss does the exact same thing. But I know he's not mad.
And we wonder why these younger generations have such, like resentment at work,
Oh,
maybe,
yeah.
like they struggle, like if you hear the older generations talk about like the millennials, like they've been in the workforce now, you guys are in your 30s, but like coming in and they're like, oh gosh, blah, 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 right, like the baby boomers and the older, and a lot of it, I think, is just this communication difference where they really didn't know these older supervisors or managers, and were communicating in this way that we thought we were getting in touch with the younger generations, and actually we were just making them afraid. Like, and I don't say afraid because they were like, oh gosh, like I'm gonna lose my job, like I'm not doing a good job, like I don't feel welcomed here. Like those are the things when it initially comes together. And so if you think about like just the world and workforce in general, like if there was more education on this, I bet there's a lot of like light ahas of it. And then these younger generations would feel more welcome at their work. And
I think that, so I'm 1986, and I feel like my generation was also really pushed to like go to college and that kind of like continued ed. And there's a lot of, like in school, like just being able to be professional at the right time was really pushed on us. And so that might have something to do with it too, is we've just kind of carried that through. I don't know. But yeah.
Sorry.
okay, yeah. So yes, with an explanation point. So sometimes you can use this as you're really excited and happy, right? Then you got to add an emoji.
I love emojis.
Yeah, because if not, feel like you're yelling. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yes, I told you that. Yes.
there's
This is like, yes, you had it right.
or right, like then you throw the party emoji in there.
I mean, that's what happens when we move our communication to written instead of having phone calls. Yes, is you have to have something that shows that.
Yep. This is probably a well-known one, right? The multiple exclamation points, right? It enunciates emotion. I can't even talk. Accentuate. And what's being communicated. And again, if you're upset, then use word like call. Need a call.
Definitely not yes, but.
Not unless you're adding a party emoji.
You can, like, it's fine to be used, but just know that it's like accentuating whatever you're communicating. Don't just throw it out there out willy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I kind of said this already. Like the older generations, they approach texting literally. Like we are just taking that as face value. This is kind of that reverse teaching is like when we're sending is due tomorrow, like we're just providing the information. Like we're not, there's no emotion of being short or wanting to make it feel dismissive or that you're not valued. Where the younger generation are reading between all the lines.
What's really interesting is when you look at the dates up there though, like 96, 97, 98, like that's when cell phones first started coming out. So like only the Gen Zers probably always texting,
Always
right?
texting.
Like it was always been in their life, you know, where the other generation, it's not something that we had growing up either. So
We were talking about pagers when we were doing this too.
Yeah, I got a cool, like I've got all the old pager codes, what we used for shortening
Oh, yeah.
remember those? Anyway, I sent them to them, they thought. Yeah, yeah. Nope. Again, it's just like no, like this doesn't make it, it does make it a little softer than a no, but you're not fixing it. You still have to add an explanation. If not, your attitude.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to fix it. It's the same thing with the no. Like if you say no and they want a yes, like they would need to know why you said no so then they can
Questions like, are you going to the grocery store? No. You
No,
can't just say no?
But I mean, you would ask like your buyer if they're going to the grocery store.
Okay.
Well, but I mean, yeah.
You might.
Should we should we lock our rate today? No.
Right, great example, yeah.
Wouldn't answer no, right? You would say no, let's
Why?
watch the rates for the next week or whatever. Yep. So in a personal world, are you going to the grocery store today? No, I'm planning on going next week or in 2 days
Oh,
or
yeah.
tomorrow
There you
or. Yep,
So
or
the
I'm too
list isn't
busy.
made.
List isn't made, like they want to know why, like not just know, like they feel like this is them.
Because there's a reason they're asking. Why do they want to know if you're going to the grocery store? Know why you need something. Mom, I need Pringles. Are you going to the grocery store today? No. How will I get my Pringles?
There you go. Thumbs up.
I was guilty
enough.
of this and I
No.
changed.
Yep.
But what if it's like, I'm going to the store, thumbs up, great, can you get me Pringles? Is that not a conversation?
I send thumbs up to my parents all the time.
But they're not offended.
They're not offended.
Oh, okay.
Are you doing it to offend them?
Well, it's.
You are.
Yeah, well, it's in.
My children are
it's a replacement for okay, like.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They-
I think
They
too,
text
yeah.
me, we're taking the dog for a drive and I go, dude.
Right?
Why are they telling you that?
Yeah.
I talk all the time.
So anyway, it's just not significant enough. Okay. And I love compliments, by the way. Attaboys. You can't attaboy these generations enough. Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think that like they truly like it. They really like being appreciated and being told that they're appreciated and knowing when they do a good job. I learned that very hard. Oh, this was interesting. Okay, hi. I don't even know. I think Whitney should explain this.
I mean, it's only acceptable if there's an emoji or an exclamation point. It's just weird to just say hi. Like, why would you just say hi
Without a name after it
without
or
anything?
something?
Just hi.
Yeah, that's a
So,
little weird.
like, I would feel like if someone just texted me, hi, if I came in and at 8:30 I got a message from Kelly that said hi, I'd be like, well, I'll pack up my stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't because I know her, but like, well, why are you saying hi? So if there's like a hi exclamation point, hi smiley, like something that communicates the emotion behind it, like clearly you want to talk, tell me what you want to talk about. Type of a thing. I think.
I kind of get that one. I can't imagine ever just texting someone and just saying hi. I would think,
I feel like we use Skype a lot. So I don't know, but even like a text message, like if you were to send someone a text that just said like hi, like the intention behind it might be like, hey, are you available? So you just say hi.
oh, like trying to say, are you ready?
Yeah, just like trying to start that conversation, but you just say hi. It can just come off as like,
This can also be if you just say someone's name. So I actually get that. Like, I don't say that. I don't do that, but someone does. There's actually someone on the team that does that.
really?
Yeah.
Saying, hi, Kelly?
Nope,
No,
just says
just your
Kelly. And I'm like, is there a problem? Like, what, can you just say what you want to say? Or say, can we talk or what? That's usually it. Like she has something, but she's saying Kelly to get my attention. And then I don't know if she just doesn't want to share the information until she has my attention. But
You're about to have 20 people on your team that do that.
I'm like, I don't get, like, what? So then you get the what back from me, what? Which I know is not, like, if you just answer what. What do you want?
I think every time someone has texted me just my name, I know there's gossip coming.
Yeah.
Like every time my best friend has texted me Lydia, the next thing is I'm pregnant. Every time she's done it. Every time I'm pregnant. Whenever I get a Lydia from my best friend, I'm like, oh, you're pregnant. And she has been every time.
Interesting. Yeah, so I guess we didn't talk about this at all. The hi just made me think of that. But, like, why would the younger generation do that?
I don't know.
I like that though, if there's like gossip coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I like that meaning. It'll make me look forward to those.
Yeah, right?
I would probably be like Lydia and then send like this emoji.
You're probably gonna call for me.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Uh-huh. Okay, so cool, like if you respond with cool. Nope, you are not cool, just so you know, not cool. Sounds like you're disinterested. You have to use all of these words instead.
Not
or-
all of them.
Well, any of them.
I would say cool sounds good.
Yeah, that works.
What about the cool thumbs up?
No.
Oh.
Extremely passive aggressive.
Cool thumbs up.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Okay. So it'd be
Oh,
like,
really? Yeah, okay.
I went shopping today and found the cutest dress for $20. Cool.
Yep, no.
Guess I will never share anything with you again.
Why?
Right? Passive aggressive.
What?
I would use
Well, like,
more
think
so
of
like,
doing this like face to face if someone was like, cool. Because like in text, you can't tell tone.
Yeah, in person, you would probably be like, let me see it.
Yeah, in person you would be like, cool, and then you would say something else,
Yeah.
and in text, you can't tell tone. So I would think like.
you can't hear the cool.
Yeah.
You have to add more O's if you want that to get.
Yeah, if you had 18
Oh,
O's.
cool. Exclamation
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
Tell
I
the
can see
lady.
it that way.
Yeah,
I
and
feel
now
like if
when you
someone's like,
say- I
going
do-
to the store, cool, like, great. Yeah, like if someone's just telling me a fact about something, like, I'm going to the store, or I'm gonna be late.
So Lydia, you actually say cool a lot. Did you know that?
Sure.
But you don't ever text it.
I don't think so. Unless I'm trying to be passive aggressive.
So here's the thing, they do all these things, but they have the meaning behind it. that- I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. So if you get a K from a millennial,
Yeah,
they're
we're doing it
annoying.
on purpose.
They're doing it on purpose. Yep.
Usually.
They're being short with you,
Yeah,
literally.
yes.
It's just great. Be like, oh my gosh, I'm just living this job life over here.
This is exactly how I felt. I was like, oh my, I had no idea. Okay, let's keep going. I don't remember what we got next. Oh, okay. This is just some general information, because I just asked this question, because I feel like it's changed a little bit, and the technology has changed, because we do have an edit now on Apple. If you misspell a word or you totally botch a message, like, you can do the star, right? Or not, it doesn't matter. But then just like correct it. Or if you totally botch the whole message, like I do a lot. Yes. Then you can rewrite the message and say, just ignore above. Or delete it. Or delete it. But now we do have edit. So if you're using an Apple, you can click and edit the message faster. So I do that a lot.
Haven't they already read it?
We use Skype a lot, like we communicate on, as our company,
How fast.
yeah, on Skype, then we can edit, so I edit all the time, but, this is correct.
What's out is like using the asterisk, like if you spell like the word, I don't know, friend wrong, and then like using the asterisk to like spell it right, that's just.
Wait, that's out?
I mean, I would think.
I think because you
but,
can
like,
go
now
back
that
and edit it now. There's no reason to do it, but like, if I got a text where someone did that, I'd be like, okay, that's okay, whatever.
Okay. So,
Alright.
I knew what you meant.
Great, thank you, this is an awesome response, love it. Perfect, don't have to change anything, great, thank you.
It's okay that great's capitalized and thank yous and the T's capitalized, that's okay.
This is because I created this, about them, I don't know, does any of the punctuate, or does any of the capitalization matter? No. No. So you could do it however you want, just not all caps.
Got it.
Yeah.
I know that. No, I've always known that. I've never done that.
Nice.
Thanks. I do this all the time. All the time. I thought it was cool. Honestly, I thought I was cool. Nope, not cool. You're unprofessional. You don't care. Can't do it. You have to write it out. Thank you. Can you use just the you? Okay, nope.
I mean, I don't know, I don't know the last time I've seen that.
Okay, keep going before.
Moving on.
Oh my God.
I feel like that's like back from like when you had to like pay for text or something that you would just, there was character limits, that's where that came from.
Or like T9 texting.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Those Nokias,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, right, like.
There was no keyboard, you had to use your numbers,
Oh,
the
yeah.
letters.
So it
It'd go
was like, to get a B, you'd press 2 twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how fast that. Do it under the
So we
desk.
can make words and sentences from just numbers, by the way. On a pager. Okay.
Wow.
This is, I think we said this already too, like difficult conversation, or if you have a sensitive topic, pick up the phone and call. Because you can't tell complete emotion from paper or words on a page or an email or a text message. So if you want to make sure that your emotion is coming off correctly, then pick up the phone and call. And potentially you're gonna have to text or email and ask for the phone call. And schedule it if they don't answer it right away, or if they don't answer their phone.
And that might make this generation.
It definitely could. But it's still better, because if not, for sure, they're gonna think you're mad and upset. Yes.
I'm just thinking through how I message people, and without a doubt, if it's only one sentence, I never add a period. If it's more than one sentence, I add the punctuation.
An
And I don't
email,
know why that is.
an email too? So
Um,
text is more forgiving, but email, like you have to use proper English in email.
If
Like
it-
there's Grammarly now, just.
if it's an email, I'll add my
Yeah.
periods and stuff like that, but if it's a text message and it's just like one sentence, it's no punctuation after.
That's it. That was fun, right?
I learned a lot.
There's no right or wrong. It's just about as you're working with people or like realtors, like as you're interacting with different generations of home buyers and or their kids that are helping them.
No, Heather should be very careful every
Oh.
message she sends.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Probably
if
be
she
like,
thinks it's okay.
who is this? Who is this?
Just be up at your desk. I was gonna send this email to you.
She
Tyler."
already does that. If you can read this, I'm like, it looks great.
So interesting.
Thank you. It was great, thank you.
Yeah, really great. See, maybe we should do a condensed version or something for the team meeting.
Yeah, I think there's some, representatives in the office that maybe could benefit from this.
I would agree.
It's
So
like,
interesting.
Yeah.
maybe you could make it required.
Stop emailing me this way, please. And take note of all this.
Is there a message on the, see a little pop-up?
Oh, it just says thank you.
You're welcome, being consumers. I guess we didn't ask them if they had any
Oh, yeah.
questions or comments along the way. Did anyone send anything?
Okay.
Just thank you.
Awesome, this was really great.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. That was pretty cool. I learned a lot.
We learned a lot
We did.
making this.
I learned a lot.